Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Shawn Nelson, CEO of Nasdaq-listed Lovesac, the home furnishing brand best known for its Sactionals, to discuss growth and ESG strategies. Shawn, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Absolutely. Great to be here. Thank you.
You got it. And let's start with a high-level overview of third quarter results.
Yeah, look, Lovesac continues to grow at a breakneck pace, 56% growth on the quarter, following 43% growth the year prior, and a CAGR of 4 years compounding at 37%. So growth on growth, the quarters before that, 60s, in the 60s and high 50s, respectively. And so it's been a fantastic run for us, and we hope it can continue.
Yeah, those growth numbers are impressive. And this is all during supply chain constraints that every industry is dealing with. So how did you manage those supply chain constraints, and what's your outlook on a return to a more normal environment?
Yeah, one of the cool things about Lovesac's products is that they all come shrunken down to a fraction of their original size, including Sactionals, our number one selling product, this modular couch you can arrange and rearrange infinitely and make 10,000 different iterations out of. The seat cushions and back pillows come packed up inside the otherwise hollow frame. And so not only can we pack many multiples of couches inside an ocean container versus our competitors, but we can also deliver to your door via FedEx. And so through the pandemic, through supply chain disruptions, through worker shortages in warehouses across the nation, what have you, we've just been steady Eddie. We run deep inventory because those same two SKUs, seats and sides, that power 10,000 different couch configurations. As long as we never run out of stock of those, we're always in stock. We're shipping out the next day usually, and our lead times are very short. And even with the port congestion and all those other things, we just keep deep in those SKUs, and we're always ready to go.
How did COVID impact consumer buying decisions, and what are your thoughts longer term on the consumer?
The consumer for us has been pretty steady, and we're feeling good about our position. And I think that look, for Lovesac, this is one of the problems, is that all of our competitors that we think of as competitors selling couches at our price points versus them are broad line retailers. So they're selling bathroom, bedroom, kitchen, living room, what have you. And we're totally focused on the couch and that sort of thing. And so as these trends of, let's say, cocooning and spending on the home, COVID tailwinds, what have you, kind of drive sales across the board for the home industry, and we've certainly benefited from that. Our core growth, again, that point to that 4-year CAGR of 37%, that's been steady all the way through. Our core growth has been driven by the adoption of our product. We have a better mousetrap. We have a better solution for couches. And our number one driver just recently of awareness amongst purchasers for our product is now word of mouth. And so that's the driver of our business. And there will always be people buying couches whenever people move, whenever people, every 7 years or so, people are buying couches. As long as we're winning those battles for those dollars, despite what the industry is doing, despite what the macro consumer is doing, Lovesac's going to be strong. And so, we're insulated from that. I don't know exactly where the consumer's at, except for the stuff I read that you can read, where there's certainly a pullback in home and that sort of thing. We're sort of insulated from that by the adoption of our product.
Do you think the shift back to in-store could continue on the other side of COVID? Because that kind of was a trend in retail where we're moving away from only online, adopting a little bit more omni-channel, and then getting back into brick and mortar before COVID hit. Do you think we could see a shift back to that on the other side?
Absolutely. Look, people were I think all the same underneath it all, and many of us would love to be out and about and living our lives. And so unfortunately, COVID continues to rage and cause disruption, and on the other end of it is a new normal that is certainly, look, I think this is where Lovesac's a leader. You can read article after article now about, new brick and mortar, smaller footprint, more specialized, true omni-channel, buy online, buy in store, it doesn't matter. We've been doing that for the past half a decade. our not stores, our showrooms, because people are really just there to sit on the product. They've already researched online. We know that. They've already studied it. They've seen it at their friend's house. They've seen an advertisement. They've been online. They've planned it, but they'd love to sit on the thing one time. So these aren't even stores for us. They're showrooms. We do transact there. They do generate, when they're operating outside of, let's call it COVID, 70% of our sales, because once people are in there, it's a friendly place to buy and it's easy. But in reality, those were all online sales. We are in an age of true omni-channel. And if businesses are not operating that way, then they will over the next half a decade. And I think Lovesac has thankfully been able to be a leader in that sort of way of doing business.
So Shawn, tell us about Lovesac's ESG strategy and what are your plans to quantify these efforts as you look longer term?
Yeah, so we just in mid-December posted our first ESG report formally. We're very proud to do it. It's something that we're very passionate about. We're sad it took us this long as a small company to be able to get it together to disclose all that sort of detailed information. We've set goals of zero waste and zero emissions by 2040. We expect to be a leader in the home category in this realm, especially because even at this moment, and for the last couple of years, we've been the #1 repurposer of plastic bottles into home deck fabric in the United States that we're aware of. Because all of our couches, all of them, are upholstered in fabric made from recycled plastic water bottles. So that, these are a lot bigger than shoes, these couches, and we're using just millions of yards of fabric over in the hundreds of millions of plastic water bottles recycled into our fabric and growing. And so and more importantly, our whole design philosophy, the stuff we make must be built to last a lifetime and designed to evolve with you as your life changes. The Sactionals in my home are 14 years old, many of them. They've been mated with Stealth Tech, our new surround sound built into the couch that can be added retroactively to any Sactionals we've ever put out there. Storage seat, power hub, the bedding, guest rest kit. And so this philosophy called Designed for Life is true sustainability, products that actually sustain, let alone being made from recycled goods and that sort of thing. So we're passionate about it, and we will continue to publish and become more detailed in our efforts to be the leader in ESG in the home category for sure.
All right, Shawn, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thanks for having me.